It's a great show.
It's a good story.
Great show. So let's hear
It's a good story.
Yeah.
So I asked, as the Attorney General, Jim Brulte, to carry a bill that essentially does what the NRA says: enforce current laws, don't write new ones.
This is the National Rifle Association.
Yes, and the system we have integrates the records.
And at that point, Jim Brulte was
The Senate minority leader,
and he
the
was
Republican
like
leader.
super close with President Bush.
Yes.
And he was his guy in California.
And were you the Senate majority?
No, I'm the Attorney General at the
Attorney
time,
General
and I
of
asked him to
California.
carry the
Okay.
bill. So the bill basically integrates the records. So if you were convicted of a felony, but you had prior to that purchased weapons that you were supposed to surrender, we would find out and we could go and pick up the illegal weapons. And we did that. Rule carried the bill, it became law, and I enforced that law. Now, when you do that, you merge the records, it runs, by the way, we found people with an operational howitzer, with 2,000 assault weapons, with flamethrowers.
So their own militia.
Yeah, with a lot of people that shouldn't probably have had these weapons that were convicted of felonies and so on. Okay, so when you integrate the records, it loops through the federal bureaucracy. And as you'll recall, Congress has written rules about the federal records that they can't be used for anything like arresting felons that shouldn't have weapons. You're not allowed to do that. So I get a call from the Department of Justice one day, you're using our records illegally. We're going to come and arrest you. And I said, hooray, please do. And they sent auditors from hell instead, which were...
If they would have arrested you,
I'd be governor
you would have
today.
been governor,
Yeah.
and then you would have been president, probably.
Yeah,
you would have been a national
yeah.
celebrity.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Anyhow.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Wow. That's a story.
You don't like George W. Bush because he didn't arrest you.
Oh, darn, you know.
Okay, so what was the outcome? Did you have to stop using the federal
No, they
records?
still do it, and there still are complaints from time to time that there's not enough funding for that department, and the backlog is
So,
too
in other words,
daunting.
they continued to let you use it because what were they going to do? You had them politically at that time.
I guess you could go get a
although that's
court
the
order.
thing now with this new Trump administration. If he would either arrest you or he would, you're a terrible person. There'd be a tweet, you're a terrible person. They're cutting
You're
off
a
the
loser.
records and all that.
You're a terrible actor.
I tell you, though, the Trump administration and having a gubernatorial election in California is going to be one sideshow. I think it'll be a lot more
people
fun than it
forget,
has been in the
we're in
past.
Southern California, the second largest city and most iconic city in the country is going to have a mayoral election this year.
That's right.
So in
That's
March.
right, yeah.
And I'm
So it'll
most
be
certain that Trump will be a topic of conversation. I mean, Garcetti
It's
should
kind of
walk
fun.
in.
It's
Yeah.
kind of fun
Yeah,
to
well,
watch
it
the
looks like a big
histrionics.
contest.
It is, and it's with the football season. I realized I kind of checked out of the football season this year entirely because I was so into the political stuff, and it just keeps coming. And so the
I don't think
NFL
it'll
suffered
stop.
as
I don't
well.
think
It
it'll
feels
stop.
like the election's not over. Obviously, all this stuff's
Yeah.
going on in California, the Golden Globes. It just feels like the election isn't over, which is terrible because normally I can go home and detach and find something on TV.
Yeah.
Everything on TV
I know.
has
The
some
sad thing
reference
is, I don't
to this
think that
freaking
I
political
don't
situation.
think that the
Well, some of
Hollywood
that's Trump.
elite
Yeah, no, I
understand
know.
how that just
a lot of it's Trump.
just re-energizes the people that are against the Hollywood.
Well,
against Hollywood.
No, he's-
I think
Especially
the war
when
bombs that are
Meryl Streep
thrown-
dissed football. I thought that's
That
not,
was not
that's-
smart.
that's
Or
not a good
MMA,
thing to
right?
do.
Or
That was,
MMA.
I think she had a lot of people there, but
Everything
just
that
fuels
every
the fire.
every reaction, every
narrative.
reaction the media has, every reaction that the celebrity
Celebrities
class have, every reaction that California has, it only fuels his base. Because what people forget is the middle of the country, the Rust Belt that voted and got him elected, despises those crazies in California, despises the elite in Hollywood, despises the mainstream media. So the more he fights with those people, it's only making him stronger. And it's hilarious to me and sad to me that the people who are criticizing him don't realize that they're only helping him.
Because it's the arrogance.
I think they do.
It's the reaction against the arrogance.
Really? That they're happy they're
and
helping him?
No, they just think they need to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
They're doing it out of
or
genuine.
that's how they're
they
wired.
genuinely care,
That's how they're wired. Just before I let you go, Bill, one contingent question to that story you told. So you were the Attorney General. You confiscated lots of weapons from people. These folks with the howitzers and these kinds of things. Do they fit a particular profile? Are they random nuts? Are they right-wing or left-wing, incendiaries who want to destroy the
Or
earth?
the
What are
criminals.
these people
There's
like?
every flavor, every philosophy, every point of view. But the one common thing is they were convicted of a felony.
Yeah, but
after, that's the
were they
common thing.
likely to? I mean, did they have those weapons because they hoped to use them, or were they just psychologically, the type that wanted to have a lot of protection, or what? I mean,
We're about to slip into the psychology of gun purchasers.
Yes, and who better to ask?
We didn't really interview those people about their motivations.
All right, okay, all right.
Okay.
They can't have guns, those convicted felons, but they can vote, right?
And I'm fine. Okay, but I'm really, everyone knows, again, I mean,
There is a difference.
I'm a fiscal conservative but social liberal, and I'm in the middle on many issues, including the gun issues. I'm very uncomfortable with felons having guns. I just don't think
No,
they should have guns. I
Or
don't
the
want them to
mentally
have
ill.
guns. I really don't want the mentally ill to have guns.
As a mom, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, I mean, because there's so many shootings in this country today, which I just find scary and appalling for a variety of reasons. Like someone like me who doesn't want a gun thinks about, well, maybe I should have one just to protect myself. But then I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, part of our rights in this country are to not do things, to not vote if you're uncomfortable with the candidates, or to not possess a gun. And I vote for myself not to possess a gun, even though. I feel like these days.
You wouldn't take that right away from somebody
No,
else?
I wouldn't take the right away from other people. Although I do think there are reasonable, I don't want to say limitations, but reforms that can be made. I'm not offended by background checks and stuff like that to ensure that there's some more safety involved in people having guns.
You think we need more than we already have?
More checks and balances.
Yeah, no, more
restrictions.
more restrictions. Do we need more restrictions? A lot of people would argue we have plenty of restrictions
And we
now.
still have the
They're,
shootings.
just enforce them.
Look at
I'm
Illinois.
most certainly open to uses of technology to better gauge whether or not someone has a propensity to create a violent act. So stronger and more focused background checks are okay with me. I certainly think that when the founders, were living on this planet, the country is a different place than it was. Having arms was very important because the government had the same type of weaponry I have, so I could fight them. Today we have air forces, we have nuclear weapons, and I think that it's a different country than it was. With all of that said, I think that it's in our DNA and in our country to be able to own guns, and frankly, the law-abiding citizens who own guns, the vast majority of them are not criminals, are not out in the street killing people. But if we can find focused, smart, and targeted ways to keep guns out of the hands of the people who are going to or likely to have an attack or make an attack, I would be open to that. What that looks like, I don't know. And the problem is that the left on this issue is so hard, let's get rid of all the guns, and the right on this issue is let's not get rid of any of the guns, that much like most of the issues in this country, we can't seem to find the sensible common ground in the middle, and I think there probably is some.
And just to close the loop, that pretty much defines California and Trump on this issue and many others. But anyways, thanks so much to all of you for coming on. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yep.